There are times when CCTV captures what the human eye can't see. And the mind can't process. Unseen. Unbelievable. Dark and terrifying. And once you watch, you won't be able to look away.
Come on, Mom.
In the video, the key thing to notice is the mannequin.
A house security camera caught something really terrifying. The CCTV footage showed a family sitting in their lounge, a woman rolling a yarn, and her husband sitting with their daughters. While no one was seeing, the camera captured a sharp movement in the mannequin placed on a table. Then, it moved again and started looking at the man sitting there, like it was scanning the room. In the next moment, when the girl sensed something strange in the statue, she jumped from her seat and rushed over to her mother. Unsettled by the happenings in the room, her father checked if something was under the mannequin, but there was nothing there. Later, the woman revealed that her daughter had brought the model from an antique house, which was owned by a witch, and she used the mannequin for dark rituals. Dark Spirit. It was September 2016 when something unsettling happened in an apartment in Italy. A guy entered his apartment after getting back from work. As he placed his helmet on the floor and went into the kitchen, he sensed something eerie around him. When he came out, a dark shape surrounded him and pulled him back into the kitchen. Luckily, he was safe. Later, when he showed the footage to his friends and family, they all said that the apartment might be haunted and he should leave the building as soon as possible. Haunting moments.
Brother has a few scary videos I thought I'd post. I am not going to be the person you go to for ghost content.
This woman's brother was encountering paranormal activities, so she decided to share his videos on her TikTok account. In one video, her brother was looking for his cat, but could not find it anywhere. He moved near to his room and suddenly the door slammed shut. Viewers could clearly see a shadow between the space in the door. What made it creepy was that there were no legs of the shadow. In another video, the indoor camera recorded small white orbs floating in front of it, and a loud groan could be heard. After a few seconds, the door on the left opened slowly, and a dark shadow sneaked across the lounge. After a few days, she posted another video in which her brother was sitting in front of his desktop working quietly. After some minutes, the light in one of the rooms flickered like someone was turning it off and on. Then, the other room's door shut intensely. The man got up to check the room but found nothing there. The woman later said that her brother had got a haunted object in his house, and incidents like these had been happening for years.
He's been haunted for a few years now, actually, and it's all because a medium once told him he has an item in his house that is possessed and are haunted.
Screaming woman. In January 2026, a strange incident took place in California. While the family was on vacation, they received an unsettling notification that their home CCTV camera had picked up voices inside the empty house. The recordings left them terrified, capturing voices of a woman screaming and screeching loudly. The footage ended abruptly with the unseen voice shouting, "Get out!" As soon as they received the footage, the family sold their house to someone else when they returned from their vacation.
Get out!
Live stream terror.
Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts.
Two girls were going live on TikTok when things took a terrifying turn. They were singing songs when the door behind them opened on its own. The elder one didn't take notice of it, but the younger one kept watching. Suddenly, the water bottle dropped on its own and the door closed again. The girls rushed out of their room calling their dad for help.
Dad! Dad! Dad!
And the video stopped abruptly. like it had been ended by something else. That was their last live video, and no one has ever heard from them since then.
Gravity, I think I'll...
Park ghost. In Pakistan, a guard was on night duty in a park when he recorded this unusual activity. As he passed by the ride section, something strange caught his attention. The park was completely empty when he saw two swings moving back and forth without anyone moving them. Many would say it was wind which moved them, but the man claimed that there was no wind or clouds that night, and it was completely a paranormal activity. As the clip went viral on the internet, many users said the park was built on a cemetery a few years ago, and this wasn't the first time rides moved on their own. Late night horror.
Baby, wake up! What the fuck, baby? Wake up, wake up, wake up! Something.
You are never going to sleep with your lights turned off after watching this. In Colorado, while a couple was sleeping, something really unsettling took place. Suddenly, the door began knocking, and the woman woke up. Seconds later, the door opened on its own, but there was no one else in the house. Small glowing grains also started to float in front of the camera. The woman anxiously started to wake up her husband, but he didn't wake up. The video ended randomly, and we don't know what happened next.
Wake up! Wake up! Oh my god, baby.
On-camera disturbance. While two women were packing their things to go on a vacation, they experienced something that left them speechless. As they were standing next to their table, lights started to flicker intensely. At first, they thought it was an electricity issue, but then the empty chair moved without anyone touching it too.
Come on.
They ran towards the outside. After they left, the door behind the chair was also seen closing on its own, making the footage more creepy. The video has left everyone stunned, and many claimed whatever was inside the house was disturbed by their presence.
Come on, Mom. Come on, Mom.
Paranormal warning.
Is there anything in your... Whoa.
While a man used to be alone in his home, he experienced some paranormal activities happening around, things moving on their own, and unknown voices coming from the rooms. Since he wasn't a believer, he decided to test them. One day, he placed the remote of his TV and called something out. The remote flipped and was thrown aside by an unseen force. On another day, he again summoned something by placing a bowl of apples in his hall, and it too moved on its own. At first, it seemed fascinating, but then the entities refused to leave his house, showing themselves by opening and closing kitchen cabinets and throwing objects such as glasses and books on the floor. A challenge that started as a fun game turned into far more horrible. Breathing ceiling.
Something f***ing wrong with this hotel room.
Alaska is famous around the world for its strange activities, fueled by its isolation and folklore. In 2015, a man booked a hotel room during his vacation in Alaska. As he was staying there, he experienced some strange happenings in it. He decided to record the whole incident on his phone. What the recording showed was terrifying. It showed the ceiling of his hotel room ruffling rapidly, as if someone was walking fastly above it. It looked like the ceiling itself was breathing.
Oh my god.
As he faced these things repeatedly, he became more terrified by the strange encounters, deciding to leave the place. The clip went viral quickly, and online users said they had similar experiences in various hotels in Alaska.
We need a new hotel room. Yeah, f*** that.
Corridor entity. This chilling clip was caught by a camera in 2015. Inside a hotel, a man was going to his room when a dark shadow appeared to take him down. It first cornered him and then dragged him across the hallway. The man moved anxiously, trying to break himself free from the ghost. Luckily, he managed to escape from its grip and ran away. Stunned and confused, he rushed outside, but the shadow was still seen following him in the corridor. From that day on, he changed his hotel room, but the shadow still stayed with him. The problem might not be the location, but the person himself. Dinner gone wrong. This woman was preparing a candlelight dinner for her husband when the evening took a disturbing turn. Standing in the kitchen, she leaned forward to blow out a candle. Behind her, a cabinet door slowly creaked open and then slammed shut on its own, like something else was sharing the kitchen with her. Startled, but trying to stay calm, she began filling a glass with water. Suddenly, a box opened on the counter, and another cabinet opened on its own. No one was near them. Panic rising, she left everything and rushed out, calling for her husband in fear. After the incident, they called on a priest. The priest blessed the house, and things went normal again.
Andy, is that you? Andy?
Dark shadows. This man set up the camera in the kitchen to record his routine, but what the camera captured terrified him. While he was doing the dishes, strange activities started to take place. Two shadows appeared near the door, and the stuffed doll lying on a chair started to move on its own, like someone was picking it up. Suddenly, the man screamed loudly in fear, as if he felt something nearby, and left the kitchen. After he left, multiple shadows could be seen roaming in the room, while one of them followed him towards the outside. The man later said that he heard something growling in his ear, which panicked him, forcing him to rush outside without looking back. Room of Screams.
It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room.
This footage dates back to September 2003. In a hotel, cameras recorded some bone-chilling screams from one of the empty rooms, and the security officers decided to check it. When one of the officers went outside the room, he heard loud and horrible screams coming from inside. The officers behind the camera told him not to enter the room as they were calling the police. Despite their stopping him, he entered the room. As he stepped in,
John's gonna enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on.
a white shadow was seen coming out fastly, going towards the hallway. The officer later stated that there was no one in the room, but the furniture was turned upside down and the carpets were torn apart. The footage stands as one of the most compelling evidence of ghost sightings still haunting people today. The Night Visitor. A man named Berlin Birch shared his horrifying experience on his YouTube channel some 3 years ago. Late one night, he stepped outside his home to visit his friend. As he was putting his bag in his car, he saw a strange white shadow moving on the road. At first, he thought he was hallucinating, but when he watched the recording of that night, he became sure that it was a real spirit he had seen outside his house. What do you think it was? An actual ghost or something else? Street spirit. Late at night, a boy was playing outside his house in India. He was running here and there playfully, but suddenly sensing something unusual around him, he suddenly rushed into his house. Later, the camera revealed a white spirit roaming in the street. The man sitting on the motorcycle didn't sense anything, but the camera recorded it all. Some viewers might say this was some smoke coming out from the house, but the perfect shape and movement of the shadow says otherwise. Cursed home. Something strange happened in a house in Minnesota in September 2020. While the woman was busy with her daily chores, she felt like someone else was present with her in the kitchen. Suddenly, the objects started to move on their own behind her. First, a lemon dropped from the table, and the light above started to swing slowly. She turned back to look and found nothing there. Then, the bottle on the table fell over. Suspecting something unusual, she turned around to grab the bottle. What happened next shook her to the core. Something had dragged the bottle and thrown it on the floor while she was reaching for it. Shaken by what she had seen, she ran towards her room. The video ended abruptly, and no one knows what happened next. Ghostly conversation. An old creepy video from Karachi, Pakistan has started to resurface again on the internet. It showed a government officer briefing some empty chairs inside his office. It looked like he was practicing for an upcoming meeting until this happened. While talking to the empty chairs, he suddenly got up from his seat and said, "Move aside and let him come." He was welcoming someone invisible. The chairs moved on their own, as something invisible was dragging and moving them. The man recording the video ran away from the office as soon as he saw the whole unsettling thing. Spooky, isn't it? Haunted hospital. On July 27th, 2022, a shocking video was recorded by a visitor in a hospital in Pakistan. The hospital looked gloomy, and some patients were sitting on the benches waiting for their turns. Suddenly, they saw the doctor rushing over in panic in the hallway, as if something was following him. As they were watching the doctor running from the hospital, an empty wheelchair entered the hallway. In the next moment, it turned towards them. What frightened them all was that it was moving on its own. The doctor later confirmed that he was being followed by his patient's spirit, who had deceased several months ago during a surgery. Haunted hospital. At 2:03 a.m., the hospital security camera recorded something no one has been able to explain. In a quiet corridor, a janitor was mopping the floor routinely. While the janitor was unaware of it, the empty wheelchair near the wall began rolling without anyone behind it. It moved steadily in the corridor for a while and then stopped on its own. When the staff reviewed the footage, one of them said it was the same chair on which a patient passed away a few days back. Maybe it was the soul of that patient still roaming on that wheelchair. Unseen visitor. In late 2025, a family moved into a new house in Australia. Everything was normal until one day something unsettling happened. As the woman was cooking food in the kitchen with her child, the door of the refrigerator opened on its own. The moment shocked her, and she turned around to see if someone was there behind them, but no one was there. The neighbors said the house was possessed as something serious had happened to the previous members a few years back. Ghostly toy car.
This mother started recording after her son's toy car started moving on its own like something was inside of it.
In Australia, an adorable mother-son moment took a terrifying turn. As the woman was sitting in her lounge, she saw something strange happening to her son's toy car in front of her. The toy car started moving on its own, like something invisible was driving it, and she started recording it. Suddenly, she called her son to have a look at his car. What happened next was really unsettling.
Braylon? Braylon? What's happening with your car?
As the child approached it, the car stopped and the driver's door opened on its own. Frightened by what he had seen, he ran away immediately. Later, the woman threw the car out of her house, but strange activities still lingered around. Haunted reflection. This clip can be really disturbing for some viewers. A man was at work when he received a notification that his motion security camera had detected something really haunting. The footage showed his dog roaming in the TV lounge. The reflection in the TV showed the dog barking at an invisible entity. The dog moved away a bit anxiously, and then something wrenched off his collar, throwing it aside. Many people said the dog may have pulled it off on its own, but the owner said the collar was far more secure to be removed by it. Till this day, the man believes an invisible force did this to his dog. Shadow in woods. In India, footage from a school at night shocked everyone. Students had been reporting about disappearing things, broken desks, and misplaced objects for months. One day, while the staff was reviewing the CCTV footage, they were stunned. At 2 a.m., a chair suddenly started to slide across the floor on its own, and objects were seen tossed around by an invisible force, making it look like the school was possessed by a ghost. Moments later, a drawer opened and the chair moved again with no one nearby. From that day on, everyone was convinced the school wasn't truly empty at night. Flickering room. Just after Christmas vacation, a guard came to his office and noticed something disturbing in the office's footage. As he was viewing it, he saw a desk lamp flickering through the dark room, and then the room lights and the sliding door closes on its own. After a few moments, some desk drawers slid open and shut. Suddenly, the lamp flickered for the last time, and the door closed again. The guard replayed the footage frame by frame, but found no one in the room. Employees working in the office later said that they also had experienced paranormal activities at night, and the office seemed haunted. Ghost Rider. In January 2026, a man was watching the footage of his street when he saw something unexpected. The atmosphere was calm, and nothing seemed out of place at first. Suddenly, a bike started to move on its own, making a circular movement. After a few seconds, it fell down, leaving the man disturbed. Not believing what he saw, he went outside to check, but found no one there. The clip was shared non-stop by social media users. Many said it was a camera glitch, while others said it was a ghost rider riding the bike. Unwelcome presence. After experiencing strange things in her newly bought house, a woman decided to record everything on camera. As she walked through the hallway, she heard a loud thump from another room and noticed a light bulb swinging as if something had just moved past it.
Oh my god.
Moments later, the kitchen lights started flickering. When she stepped inside, the lights suddenly stopped flickering, but the drawers and cabinets were now open. Confused and shaken, she backed away. Suddenly, another heavy thud rang out, and the lights went out completely. Breathing heavily, she stopped recording and left the house that night, and never returned. Prayer interrupted.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
In Saudi Arabia, a man was praying in his home when the camera captured something disturbing. As he began his prayer, the prayer mat slowly slid from beneath his feet, as if being pulled away. Moments later, the table and chairs nearby shifted on their own. Despite the movement around him, the man continued praying without stopping. Gradually, everything returned to normal. Later, when he showed the footage to a scholar, he suggested the house might be inhabited by unseen evil forces that were disturbed by his prayer. However, many online viewers believed his prayers were what protected him.
الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين.
Spooky box.
I am freaked out, and there's no way in hell I'm going up there.
You should never buy things from unknown places, and this video shows why. A man had been hearing a strange, creepy noise coming from his attic, but when he went there, he found nothing inside. For a few days, the noise continued.
Can somebody please tell me what the hell I'm supposed to do? Oh my god.
Finally, he installed a CCTV camera inside and checked the recording. The visuals shocked him. He saw the box moving that he had recently brought from an antique house, like something was trying to come out of it. Later, he went to the shop owner, asking him about the box. He told him that the box belonged to a little girl who had passed away in mysterious circumstances, and it might be possessed by her soul. Unseen runner. In January 2025, a man's girlfriend told him that her house was haunted. Out of curiosity, he went to her house to meet her. As he was sitting in the lounge waiting, he started hearing unusual sounds from upstairs, like someone was walking there.
I've never heard it until now.
To check who it was, he went near the stairs and challenged the unseen force to come down. What happened next terrified him. He started hearing loud running footsteps on the stairs, and a force tried to take him down. Later, he showed the video to his girlfriend, and she decided to leave the house immediately.
Oh my God.
Possessed doll.
Esta tacita, rosita, y esta tacita.
In Brazil, a girl was showing her toys on TikTok live when one of the toys started acting unexpectedly. A small doll behind her moved its hand and knocked over a toy cup. The girl didn't notice anything, but the viewers did. Unaware of what had happened, the girl again started to display her toys until she saw the doll again move its arm. Afraid by what she had seen, she screamed and rushed over to her mother, ending the live stream. It was revealed later that she had bought it from a yard sale, and the doll was possessed by a demon.
Huevo.
Terrifying footage. In 2022, a couple moved into a new house in California. After a few days, they started hearing footsteps and lights turning on and off on their own at night. They installed a CCTV camera to check what happens at night, and they captured this. Suddenly, some tiny glowing objects appeared in front of the camera, and the light turned off completely. In that darkness, they saw a black figure appearing and getting out of the room. In the next moment, the light turned on and nothing was there. The couple was convinced that the house was possessed, and they needed to change it immediately. Ghostly conversation. Hearing about a haunted park in Maryland, a couple went there to see it. As they stopped outside the park, they saw a lone swing moving to and fro fastly with no one around it. Just for fun, they started calling out loudly who was on the swing.
Are you real?
Are you real?
The next moment caught them completely off guard. A child's reply came from the empty swing saying, "I don't tell." The conversation continued, and they asked if she was having fun. The invisible figure replied, "If I stop, will you run? And I can't leave beyond the fence."
Yeah.
Suddenly, the man started the car and drove off fastly. He later revealed that they heard a loud growl and someone hitting the fence forcefully before they said goodbye.
Oh, what the
Attic ghost. While a man was staying at his son's house, he received a notification from the camera in his own home. When he opened the alert, he was stunned. The footage showed the attic ladder slowly unlocking, then dropping down on its own. Suddenly, a large box crashed from the attic to the floor. Moments later, the rest of the ladder unfolded completely, as if something had just climbed down. After watching the video, the man decided not to return home. He later claimed he had brought the box from his friend's abandoned house a few months earlier and believed it carried something with it. House ghost. Expecting a fresh start, a man moved into a new house in France, but he didn't know what was awaiting ahead. At first, he experienced nothing, but then strange things began to happen. One day, he was sitting in his room when the door opposite to his room opened on its own. As he stood up to check, the door of his room also moved on its own like someone was closing it slowly. Feeling uneasy, he went into the living room. Suddenly, a dining chair started to move on its own, and he heard someone knocking loudly behind him. Soon, he realized that he wasn't alone, and whatever else was in the house didn't want him there. Shopping mall apparition.
Watch. What is that? What is that?
In Indonesia, a security guard started his new job at a shopping mall. Everything was going on normally, when one day he suspected a man planning to steal from the men's section. In order to save the footage, he started recording it. But then, he saw something unbelievable. Something really strange appeared near the man's foot and disappeared immediately. It seemed like a mysterious creature with a grim face. Doubtful about what he had seen, the guard replayed the video frame by frame and watched the unknown thing appearing and vanishing without a whoosh.
It's there, and no, it's not.
Midnight intruder. This short clip alone is enough to give anyone chills. Late-night CCTV footage showed a couple approaching a grocery store, but found it closed. After they went away, the camera glitched and a lone man appeared, walking straight through the locked glass doors as if they weren't there. The moment he entered, the lights inside began flickering. Outside, a sleeping man suddenly woke up as the lights flashed, looking around in confusion. Moments later, the figure exited the store the same way he entered, passing through the closed doors without resistance. Was this glitch in the Matrix, or was he a ghost entering the store? Glowing orb. A home security camera in California captured something unusual late at night. The footage showed a faint glowing object drifting slowly in front of the camera before floating across the garden. It didn't appear to follow a straight path, instead hovered and shifted direction as if moving deliberately. After the clip was shared online, it quickly gained attention. Viewers were left divided and unsure of what they were seeing. Was it simply dust reflecting light, an insect passing close to the lens, or something far more mysterious? Brave guard.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
This hospital footage caught something really unsettling in 2019. While a guard was on his night shift, he saw an eerie white shadow moving in front of him, like it was leaving the hospital. At first, he couldn't believe what he was watching, but then he stood up and tried to calm himself. Viewers were also left stunned, with many saying they had never seen someone acting so bravely when countering a ghost-like figure. However, the guard later left the hospital and went somewhere else to work.
Okay, so I looked at the camera, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna calm down.
Invisible patient. This is another chilling clip from a hospital. It showed a guard on night duty sitting behind the desk. Everything seemed normal until the front door slowly opened on its own. He rose from his chair and began greeting and assisting someone no one could see. He wrote something on his letter pad and guided the unseen figure down the hallway. Later, the camera captured him offering a wheelchair to empty air. The next morning, after watching the footage, he was visibly shaken. He insisted he had been helping an old woman the previous night, but no one else had seen her.